back up here. What's up, Phil? How you doing? A little bit of top wick there, NASDAQ, rolling back over. We have liquidity at 25,287 and 25,200 NASDAQ. We have a little bit of put buying, call selling at the moment, not very much. Hope everybody had a fantastic Thanksgiving holiday. I know I did. It was much needed to get a couple of days off and spend some time with the family. So, what's up, John? Natalie, how you doing? Street Salsa, Magic Chad. What's up? Trade like a robot. That's right. Posted a new YouTube video called a new YouTube video about spot gamma and a podcast about trading like a robot. Trading like a robot. Top wick on NASDAQ, rolling over. Let's see, 25,287 liquidity. ES. I posted a signal last night about gold. Gold came up and tapped the beautiful target up here and is still rejecting that target. So we had a first beautiful sweep from 42.91 to 42.48, a 50-point retracement on gold, which anyone who's traded gold knows that is a phenomenal move. And here we are back up, still holding. If it breaks that, we'll have a rally, but that is still holding. I spent some time going through my screener this morning. There's a lot of names that are hitting lows with a phenomenal amount of volume. A lot of names. In fact, I went through names in my screener hitting their highs and hitting their lows, and there's about 5 times more names hitting lows than there are highs, and all of them which are 3R volume, 2R volume. So I'm going to be releasing a couple of names here to take a look at and put on some maybe non-S&P names going into the holiday with some phenomenal moves. We'll see. 5K in one move. Yeah, it's insane, Kennedy. Huge call selling here on the 0 DTEs. There is Captain Condor is on the books today. He's back on the books. ES has NASDAQ has very little liquidity. I'm getting some data latency spikes here. There's tremendous amount of call selling right here. Looking across the market, everything is deeply red. All of tech's red. AVGO is down almost 3%. Meta is down 1.5%. All of the X's are red with exception to XLE, which we already knew that oil was going to have a bullish response after the OPEC meeting that started last night. So they're cutting output with oil, which means prices are going to go up. That's the whole theme. So obviously we're seeing a lot of bullishness on oil, and you could continue to see that. So after very much beaten down a couple of months for oil, down in the 50s, see if we can get a little reclamation of some higher prices for oil. Keep an eye on there. Other than that, everything is still kind of chilling here, 25,288. I'm not really interested in jumping too far into the markets early on Monday. Now, Linda Raschke says, as per the open on Friday, that we will have a bullish move into or through the open. And so far, we're getting that. We bounced at 650 at 213. We're already up 80 points from that, and we're buying up. So we'll see. After the morning shift, the manipulation phase. Ooh, speaking of which, I need to make a note. Oh, I already did that. Okay. I already did that. All right, we're back. Never mind. In reference to the 3 C's, how would you determine the strength of a move? A+, A++, A+++++. It seems that the highest confidence setups to be a reversal on major support. Yes, 100%. So the absolute highest confident move is going to occur at what I, call the 4th C, which is location. If we have a tremendous location, like a monthly high-low, daily high-low, yearly high-low, in accordance with also a strongly correlated 3 C's, then yeah, that's going to be the highest confidence. So extremely high volume with an incredibly aggressive bottom wick at a monthly low, that is as confident as you get. And I can almost guarantee you could at least have a pretty profitable scalp if you're aggressive on that play. Now, a complete on reversal, obviously no one can expect that. We blow through major levels like that all the time on the macro. But from a scalping perspective, I mean, you can capture a quick 100 points on NASDAQ playing at those extremely high confident areas. But the trick is can you sit on your hands and do nothing until you have the most confident of moves present itself? If you're scalping 50 times a day, there is zero chance in Hades that you are waiting for high confidence zones. You're playing every little move. But if you can be patient and take one trade a day, if not any trades a day, and wait for those high confidence move, then you can really open up the door of profitable trading. And I get into that with my podcast, Trading Like a Robot. Can you trade like a robot? Can you wait for those pristine moves? Everyone, talks about how like Trader Kane dude took out like $3 million out of prop firms. You know how he did it? By doing nothing until he saw the exact setup that he absolutely wanted. And that required doing nothing for a couple of days. Everyone wants the secret sauce, like Good Burger back in the 90s. Everyone wants the secret sauce to make their hamburgers nice and juicy, but you don't want to do the work. The secret sauce is doing nothing until you see exactly what you want to see. Speaking of, just to clarify the rules of the competition, no resets allowed. Correct. Yeah, so no more evals after yesterday. However, I do allow one funded reset. So if you get funded, I'll allow you to reset that one time. I don't want to allow open-ended resets because I don't want to condone just hemorrhaging money into a funded account. And then after that, we'll if no one claims again, guess what? In January, we'll do another competition. We'll keep on doing it until I pay somebody $1,000. So the competition is closed as of yesterday. The entry form, at least, is closed. Speaking of which, I need to lock it down. There you go. How's everybody doing on YouTube? Hit my profit target last night with gold. Nice, Kennedy. NASDAQ is still holding 310. VIX 1760, or up 7%. Huge gap up on the VIX. There is some talk around town about the Japanese carry trade is once again in our crosshairs. Of course, that is coming on and off now for 4 years now. Michael Gay has been talking about it, and now it's the Japanese yields hit the highest prices since 1998. The highest price since 1998. So again, I'm not all that knowledgeable in the Japanese carry trade. Very, very minor knowledge based on what I learned from Michael Gayed. But it's still there, and I'm curious to see if that is anything to be aware of. How many people signed up for the competition? 37, I believe. 37 people, last I checked. The top wick. Another top wick back over. Top wick. NASDAQ is top wicking. RTY top wicking. Gold rejecting that upper range again. Oil still nice and bullish. Things are going fine. XLK is getting wrecked, of course. Nvidia once again is defending this whole support block. This is the support block we talked about last week. They're still defending that. This is all the liquidity delivery from right here. That big wick that initiated the upward trend. Now, not all wicks are created equal. And the important thing about this Nvidia support, if you're watching, is that wick right there initiated the trend, which tells us that's where all the buy-side liquidity hit, which shows you how strong this actually is. So, with that said, you just plot the wick, you wait for that move down into that area, and of course we have a tremendous response on Friday, November 21st, a second one on November 25th, and now, of course, third one today. They're getting another buy-side response off of that. Now, every single time you tap this area, it gets weaker and weaker. So, every time you tap it, it's more incumbent on the buyers to capture a higher high. If the buyers continue to capture a higher high, it tells you that the book is weakening, which means that gives you the absorption level where the descending triangle is a bearish pattern. You start to blow lower because you have the buy side coming down. The sellers absorb. There's not enough buyers to hold it up, and then we fall. So right here, especially on the third attempt on NVIDIA, it's more incumbent on the buyers to capture a higher high. So buyers are on the clock. You have a couple of different areas here on NVIDIA. You've got this SR flip, which is right about here, a little bit of range. And then, of course, you have the technical high, which is about 182.98.97 on NVIDIA. So NVIDIA needs to capture, in my opinion, bare minimum the SR flip here at 180, and then the technical high would be right here at 182.94. Let's call it 183. So the buyers are on the clock. If the buyers can't grab this higher high, there's going to be absorption, and then we're going to attack the next liquidity to re-engage buyers, which is going to be right here about 168.50. So just plot these levels, go through here, and just do if-and statements. If-and statements. Is there a way to check to make sure we're signed up? I know I've read the rules, but 99% sure I signed up. Yeah, did you do the questionnaire, the little entry form? Also an exciting weekend. First time killing and butchering hogs. Nice. Spent Friday through the weekend with friends of ours doing ourselves guidance. Prayed over the hogs before killing them. After everything, we'll enjoy some fresh pork burgers. Beautiful. Pork meatballs. Never take farmers for granted. Never, Kennedy. Awesome. Good stuff, man. My son actually killed a buck this weekend. So I had to process the buck, go out there. It was nice. Little 8-pointer. 250 yards with this Creedmoor from the deck. NASDAQ still rolling over here. So we had the opening green from the Linda Raschke. We have tremendous amount of call selling, put buying. Call selling, put buying. $691 of calls sold, 129 million puts, and we're dropping, baby. We are dropping. It is beautiful stuff. How long did it take to process the 8-pointer? It takes me 4.5 hours from dropping the deer to having it in my freezer. Completely parted out. Everything ready to go. Grounded up and everything. So it's a bit of a process, but I like it. I enjoy it. Kids get to learn something. 25,216 dropping. Y'all are freaking quiet. Who's got some positions on? We making money. 671 million calls sold. 166 million puts purchased. What's up, Wesley? How you doing? Squanch. Wesley Squanch. I just subscribed to SG Spot Gambling. Can you please go over a spread vertical SPX with the Hero tool? What do you mean? What do we have here? Crypto stocks are, man, Bitcoin is still falling. I looked at Bitcoin last night. What are they at now? They're down 5% today. 86,000, breaking through 87,000 support. Year to date, they're getting creamed. So we're down from 124,000 on October 6th. It's dropped $40,000 in a month and a half, 2 months. Wow. Interesting. Interesting. Little piddle in the middle here. Oh, man. It's been a nice, quiet holiday. Gears aren't quite turning the way they need to be. Heck yeah, man. I love it. Want to take a position, but it seems wicky. It is a bit wicky. It's smack dab in the middle. Smack dab in the middle. We have very light liquidity on the book. They are selling calls like nobody's business, baby. 700 million calls sold. I'm still a touch shaken up. When the market went down last week, I was in a position I couldn't exit. And I went from green to turn it back on and being negative. Big loss of the year. Did they not fix the loss? No. Oh, that's terrible. Where's the questionnaire for the comp? I shut it down because yesterday was the final day to enter. If a lot of people still want to enter, I mean, I'll open it back up for one day if y'all want. It all depends on how many people. I'm joining the stream while working at my clinic. No prop trades in a gold swing off of trendline break last night since open. I'm closed here in a bit. 33 points. Beautiful. Yeah, 33 points is amazing, Kennedy. It's amazing. Green's still coming up 68.24. NASDAQ bounce, ES bounce. They're just kind of selling and buying, selling and buying. We have up to 68.35. What time is it? We just hit 9:45, which is trading time. NVIDIA is bouncing aggressively after defending the sweep at 173.82. Aggressively. Look at the cycles of Bitcoin. Most likely the cycle will drop for another 10 months. Interesting. I can't say I've ever done a lot of price action analysis on Bitcoin. You signed up for so you signed up and but you didn't do the questionnaire. Is that right, Nancy? Is that what you mean? What's up, Nudu? All right, I'll just send you the link so you can fill it in. That questionnaire is for my tracking of the competition and to make sure everyone understands the rules. I'll send it to you. All right, ES is bouncing. Just took out the pivot at 68.30 and climbing on up. We have a 3C bounce right here. The 3C initiated at 9:41, and Nasdaq is up 20, or ES is up 20 points. Nasdaq is flying, new high of the day. They're up 120 and going. 3C bounce. 3C on gold too. Yeah, so gold once again rejected this pivot. Came on down. A beautiful 3C off of 42.52. Stream is delayed over 2 minutes. Is that the case for everybody? Mine's delayed 4 seconds. I just timed it for me because I listened to it. I have the stream up just like y'all do to monitor it. How would the 941 be a 3C bounce if we went lower after? Wouldn't that invalidate the 3Cs? On which name?